Hi everybody, we're talking to Mike Piechnic, who's changing his baseball style technique, his pitching technique, from the fast pitch softball to this, the hard ball. Recently Mike was down in Haines City, Florida, trying out with the Kansas City Royals at their training camp. So Mike, how did you and the Kansas City Royals get together?
It was a friend of the manager of Kansas City. This friend just had an idea after watching a fast pitch softball game. He was impressed with the pitching and wondered if one of these guys could throw a baseball. And he gave me a call. It was just a whim. He asked the manager if they could get me a spot in a tryout camp. And the manager said, sure, what do we have to lose? And, you know, I respect them for that. They're quite a progressive thinking team. And there were 200 fellas there, 22 years of age and under, and myself, 37 years old. And when I showed up, they had just separated us into pitchers, catchers, and infielders, outfielders. And then they just put us on mounds and basically two at a time let us show our stuff.
And what did the scouts think?
It was very interesting because as soon as I threw my first pitch, it went silent. Everybody was watching, what in the world is this? And they were impressed, actually. They were quite impressed. I heard later on, more so, mostly with movement.
So you're pitching hard ball, you're used to pitching fast pitch softball, and there's a little bit of a difference in the delivery. What?
Well, what the thing was, obviously hardball overhand, softball underhand. However, to actually deliver it in a windmill fashion is legal. It is okay to do that. The problems arise with your feet. In softball, on international level, I'll just use that now, we have to start with 2 feet on the rubber, one in front and one in back. In baseball, as you know, they kind of face either first base or third base with a side motion, and then they kick up their legs, step toward home, and pitch. Well, when we release our pitches, we push off the rubber in softball, and we actually slide forward, and at that, it's a half second. We slide off the mound, half second later, we release the pitch. In baseball, it's a much closer. They actually pivot and leave the mound, instantly throw the ball. It looks like it's a push off the mound after or at the same time that the pitch is released. With softball, it is specifically after we leave the mound. We slide, pitch. And that is the illegal portion of it. What they want to see if I can do is actually leave my rear foot on the mound and let the ball go. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Effectively? That's a little tougher.
Do you think it'll change the style of will you still be able to pitch that way?
Well,
and still be effective?
In softball, I know I can do that. I was forced to do that in Venezuela while an umpire had it out with me and wanted me to leave my rear foot on the mound, and so I did, and we were still effective. Not as effective as before, but we were still effective. So can it be done in baseball? Yes, it can, but not as effective as if we were allowed to push off and slide.
So with the new delivery style, is that going to take away from your speed? Now, what are you pitching? What pitches do you have with a hard ball?
In terms of speed, we were, again, this was the first workout on a mound and the first time in the heat. So we were pitching low 80s, 80, 81. And we can throw a drop. Now I'm using softball terminology here, a ball that will drop with top spin, a ball that'll curve with a side spin, a change-up off-speed pitch, which is, by the way, a drop as well, but an off-speed drop. And we can throw a rise ball, and that is the big difference between what we do so naturally and what a hardball pitcher does. We can actually make it rise with a backspin. And not just a ball that is going up on a linear line, but it is actually curving upward. A little different for them.
Do you think this style of pitching will be effective against hardball hitters, the very best hitters in the world?
Well, I can only repeat what Terry Wetzel, who was the scouting director, said to me. He said, if we could let you do as you wish with your feet, we have no doubt that you could be effective at this level of play. Against the very best of the best, well, gee, even in softball they hit us. quite comfortably, I might add. But in baseball, the best of the best, I'm sure in time that they would whack the ball too. But would we be effective? According to him, we would be. I'd like to think we would, just because strange delivery and a ball that moves upward.
So will you be returning to Kansas City?
I'm going to pursue just to satisfy my own curiosity, and I'll be honest with them. If I think I can do it, I will certainly ask for another tryout to show them what I have, and kind of let this issue be settled, because I mean, it's if it works, I mean, what a change in lifestyle for me.
Mike, best of luck this summer. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, Derek.
Well, for Plugged In, I'm Derek Munch in Saanich.